If it goes ahead, Gateway will be a space station around the moon, and SpaceX will get us there. Dr. Brad Tucker and I are diving into this Talking Science Story of the Week.
Across Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts and YouTube, this is Talking Science with Dr. Brad Tucker and Matt Miller.
And into the stories of the week, Brad. Like I said, it's a SpaceX show. We seem to do it every week. And the ratings love it when we do SpaceX, so let's just keep doing it. They've been announced as the transport to get crew and supplies. I think we already knew about the crew, but the supplies definitely to the Gateway station around the moon.
That's right. It's not all about them, but they're making progress with but it's also twofold. NASA's moving with plans for the Artemis, and they need people to start doing these things. I think we talked about last year Blue Origin kind of developing the lander, and NASA has already kind of given them money to work on the lander. Well, here another private company will be having the cargo delivery to that gateway, what's called, so that space station around the moon. And someone needs the contracts because they got to start building it. They have to start designing it. Things take time, so you can't just say, oh, it's going to be you. They need it to work. And they can't just repurpose the current capsule. They have to build a bigger special one for the moon.
Is Gateway going ahead? I thought it had been scratched.
Well, look, it's a bit of debate about what's happening with it. I think it's kind of swaying in the wind with the policymakers, depending on what is the best thing. I think they have to realize that something like that needs to be developed anyways. There's already development of the Gateway. And so I think regardless, they will still need, even if it doesn't connect with the Gateway, they'll still need a big cargo transporter to the moon. So they could probably, slightly change where the destination is for this thing. And, I think this is one of the issues with the Artemis is it's a bit swaying in the wind with how the tides are feeling. And it's kind of hard to do things when every 6 months or a year, your views change. Well, you kind of need to know what you're trying to do and then do it. So it remains to be seen, but if they're awarding contracts to do this, then you kind of feel that they're still thinking about it.
It really goes to John F. Kennedy in the 60s in sort of setting a directive and sticking with it for a number of years and watching it actually pay off, I guess.
It is, and that's, I think, one of the things we kind of underestimate. There was that success. It was just saying, let's just do that and do that. You see that there's going to be something happening, but, the devil's in the detail here, and if you keep changing the detail, well, you're just going to keep delaying the overall mission. There's a lot of the community who I think sees the value in a gateway, a space station like at the moon, instead of trying to do something else, realizing that the moon is kind of this path, is this gateway, so to speak. SpaceX will be at least carrying the cargo to the moon. And to do that, they'll have to build a bigger version of the Dragon capsule.
And it is going to be called the Dragon XL. It's huge. It's going to be able to carry 5 metric tons of cargo to the moon. That's no small feat, given how big the Saturn V was to get 3 astronauts.
That's right. And the lander, it's a big thing to get there, and to get it in a decent amount of time. Now, the great thing about developing, and this is why you develop human versus cargo vehicles, is the cargo vehicles can go at a slower speed and different trajectories because you're not worried as much about radiation and other effects. So you can make it a little bit different than what we'll need for the Orion capsule in order to get quickly to the moon. But that said, to carry that much cargo that far, we can see how expensive and hard it is to get into geosynchronous orbit at 36,800 kilometers. Well, to get to 380,000 kilometers, 10 times further away, the complications and the issues will increase likewise. But it's good to see that things are at least moving ahead.
It does seem unlikely that NASA will be able to meet its 2024 deadline with all of these delays that are happening, with the changes in policy, the changes of mind and stuff like that. I guess, is it realistic to expect it sometime this decade or not at all now?
So I think sometime this decade, yes. I was never a believer that they make 2024, and I think there was doubts even in the community and the people working on it. I think now it just slips. And this is ignoring any delays that may come from coronavirus, 2024 is not that far away, given that we're about to start April in 2020. Oh dear Lord!
And we're just writing off the whole year of 2020. It sounds like.
Yeah. 2020 is that this just will not exist in historical records. So that only gives you 3 years. I think you can make more a 2028 window. 2024 is going to be tough.